Hello. Today I want to share something about making drums sound huge, how compression can make things sound actually smaller, and about how compression can change the sort of the timing of things, like how the timing feels, right? I know I look very tired today. It's late. I got this weird yellowish light around me because I'm in my living room. Yeah, it's pretty late, but it's Monday, so it's video time again, and I didn't want to miss a video. All right, today I started the day with some planning for the week because I'm home alone, family's away. I got plenty of time on the one hand, but on the other hand, a lot of things to take care of because next week I'm going to be off the grid and take a week off. So I have to finish some things, prepare some things. So I started with a bit of planning. Then I went ahead and exported some and consolidated and put together some tracks from my own band for our upcoming second EP that is in the making. And I am uploading these, or I have uploaded these to our portal so that my engineer who's working with me can then edit and prep these things for me so I can mix them. Usually just artists upload the stuff to our portal and then he just takes it, edits it, preps everything so I can just start mixing. But since it's my own band, I got some work to do to collect all the files and like do all that. So yeah, um, there's that. And then I finished mixing another song for Kaleidostate, the band from Australia that I was talking about in one of the last videos. They are I'd say an acoustic rock band in a way. Like they're rock songs, but as I said, they play um, their arrangements consist of drums, acoustic guitars, sometimes bass, not even all the time, sometimes an additional element. They distort acoustic guitars sometimes, which is really cool. It's kind of a unique sound. So anyway, I was finishing mixing a song for them today, and I mixed the song last week actually, and I just wanted to have another listen today. And what I noticed was that the drums didn't feel um, as big as I wanted them to feel. It didn't sound as big as I wanted them to sound. Like kind of like they were close, but not really. And what I've noticed is, and that's my lesson for today. Again, it's like I've noticed this a couple of times, but today I learned it again. Is that compression, especially on drum close mics, can make things sound smaller when you think it makes things sound bigger. So I had a bunch of compression on the snare to add more attack and impact. I had some compression on the kick drum, on the toms, like all the close mics. But for this particular song, it was kind of an old school vibe. It was pretty slow. There was plenty of room between the hits. There was this big room mic sound that I had in mind. So I wanted those drums to sound huge, especially in the choruses. And I experimented with some like different compressors and like I couldn't get the impact and the length and the depth and the size of it to be the way I wanted it. So what I ended up doing is like removed the compression on the close mics entirely and just went a little harder on the room mics and the drum bus. And that did the trick. And I was once again reminded that sometimes compressing things, you think it sounds bigger or fatter or it has more impact when you compress things. But sometimes you're actually, often actually, you're making things sound smaller. The kick drum has lost some bottom end, everything got tighter. Yeah, it's tighter, it's more controlled, but it's smaller. So without the compression, I had a little more automation work to do. But with more compression on the rooms and the drum bus and less the individual mics, I could make them sound as controlled as I needed them, and with the additional automation. But like, I kept all the size and the roundness, the fullness of it, for a lack of a better word. So this was cool to see because I usually love compression. I mangle drums all the time, but in this case, less was more. So this was the first thing, and the second thing was it's always fascinating to me how compression can change the way the tempo of a song feels, right? So in this case, there was this slow, heavy part. I mean, the whole song is kind of slow and feels like, not heavy, but like a little, I don't know how to say that. Um, yeah, that it has heavy parts. It's like a slow song with like impactful, big choruses, you know, and when you have a lot of cymbals going on there, you know, that big cymbal wash where the crash is not just on the one, but it keeps playing throughout the part, or it's like on, yeah, it's more than just a few accents here and there. If you have big open hi-hats or a ride cymbal that's been hit a little harder, anything where there's sort of a cymbal wash, I feel like that when you, depending on how you set the release time of the compressor, it changes how, after every kick and snare hit, how the sustain comes back, sort of, and how, like, every kick and snare hit will slightly duck the cymbals, and then the sustain of the cymbal comes back up when the compressor goes back, when the compressor recovers. And if you do it on the drum bus, for example, or the room mics. And depending on how you set the release time, this can cause the whole drum part to feel a little slower or a little like it's a little dragging, you know, because when the cymbals take a while until they recover to normal volume, it sounds as if the right hand of the drummer was a little behind, you know, the cymbals take a little bit. They sound less explosive, they sound a little dragging, a little slower. And it's so fun to play with that and to use that because you can make it really accurate and transparent, or you can really make things sound a little laid back and smooth. And I had fun playing around with that today, and I just wanted to remind you that what an effect on the perception of the groove and the timing the compression has, especially with drums, especially if there is some sort of cymbal wash going, something that's not just a transient, basically. Anyway, keep experimenting with that sort of stuff. It's really fun what compression can do to drums. I love it. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes it affects not only the impact, but also how we perceive timing. That is it for today. I'm gonna need to rest now, and I'm gonna be back with a hopefully better lit and more energetic video tomorrow. Bye-bye.